The Adam Smith Awards are globally recognised as the industry benchmark for best practice and innovation in corporate treasury. Throughout this dedicated series, we take a deep dive into each of the winning solutions in conversation with the creators themselves.
Hello, I'm Meg Coates, Joint Publisher and Head of Operations at the Treasury Today Group. In this episode, we take a look at the overall and highly commended winners in our Best Transaction Management category. A new category for 2022 to incorporate any solution which demonstrates how the company manages or forecasts its cash, manages working capital, and makes and receives payments. It might show how a hybrid or virtual account structure has been implemented, or support a full regional treasury centre, in-house bank or shared service centre, APIs and or on behalf of structures. Our overall winner demonstrates an impressive payback following a 5-year journey, whilst our highly commended winners show substantial working capital benefits and an end-to-end solution for online marketplace. And the overall winner of our Best Transaction Management solution is Magnus Attoff, Head of Digital Transformation and Financial Risk Management at Ericsson. Off to a great start, congratulations.
Hi, I'm Magnus Attoff. I'm Head of Digital Transformation and Financial Risk Management for Ericsson. I would say winning the Adam Smith Award is a great boost to get the external recognition of something which has been a long and hard work for across the organization. And one should recognize that we were running this over 5 years and in multiple projects. So I think it is the best way to wrap up and recognize how far all the efforts have brought us. We started in a strategy session back in 2016 and envisaging what a wanted position would be for us. So we were recognizing both the geographical spread that we have. We are in over 180 countries. We have regulatory differences. We have multiple banks. And also at the time, the banks were retracting from many countries. To that, we saw the digital evolution coming and saw the benefits that would give us. So based on that, we identified there was a lot of gaps from delivering a best-in-class liquidity management and financial risk management to all legal entities and in all countries. So as a next step, we brought this into a program. So we logically split it in, the requirements or needs into projects, assignments, based on a hypothesis to allow them to run independently. Now, these projects were, of course, we had to coordinate them to ensure that both that as they were running forwards, we wouldn't have overlaps, and also that we adapted new insights that we got to check the hypothesis that we were moving towards. And the large building blocks that we had was an in-house bank solution, cash management solution, FX platforms and integration, organizational changes, and lastly, analytics. We managed the program with a professional program manager as well as project managers, and that is to ensure that we maintain progress and speed. What we also did was to identify KPIs for the program, focusing on the P&L impact and P&L improvements. And that was primarily to measure the traction that we had over time. And I think that one key feature that we had was also to be clear to the organization and the people involved in this, was that we were clearly working toward a positive business case rather than a saving program. And that, I think, was key to have buy-in from the large part of the organization. I think running a program this size and over this time, I think the learnings that we've had is that flexibility is really crucial in this, because we will need to change priority between projects over time, looking at which ones are able to move forward, which ones are stalled in waiting stages. And that's primarily due to external factors that is preventing one project to move forward. And then we could use the project members on other projects in the meantime, so we don't waste time or efforts in projects that are not moving forward. I think communication is another area. I don't think it's possible to communicate too much. I think continuously updating on where the project is moving ahead, where it's not moving ahead, because some people in the organization might only see the things that are stalling. By allowing them to see what is moving ahead, we could find resources for those projects. So I think communication was absolutely key. The last thing I think is to get buy-in again from organization is also to be open to really anyone showing interest to be part of the project. And I think that is one way to create both growth for individuals and also an inclusive environment.
And now it's time for a word from their partner.
My name is Raymond Pereira. I'm part of the electronic FX team here at Citibank, and we help our clients automate their global FX risk management processes. The way we help Ericsson was using CitiFX Pulse, our global risk management platform. Ericsson embarked on a quite ambitious digitalization and centralization project a few years back. And as part of that project, both on the cash management side and on the FX risk management side, there had to be collaboration. So while on the cash management side, the connectivity and the platform was already in place, on the FX risk management side, the Ericsson team wanted something that could help them manage their risk on behalf of 40 plus entities. And this is where CitiFX Pulse came in. The platform is available in more than 80 markets, and Citi's ability to provide Ericsson team a central platform to deal on behalf of the entities proved key in enabling their centralization and automation objectives. Apart from providing the FX risk management platform to the Ericsson team, the key was also making sure that the end-to-end process was automated. So Citi collaborated with Ericsson's operations and back office teams in order to understand what were the processes that were manual and that needed more automation. So Citi put in place a global straight-through processing for all FX trades that were done globally straight into Ericsson's Treasury management system. What this allowed Ericsson to do was to track all FX that was done globally, whether it was done independently or as a part of a payment, so that they had full visibility on all their flows that were processed on behalf of their entities. And I think this was really the key in making sure that Ericsson are not only able to automate it, but had full visibility of their FX.
Next up, the highly commended award in this category.
My name is Marc Parenteau. I'm the Vice President Treasury North America for L'Oréal. So I'm covering L'Oréal USA, the US, Canada, and SalonCentric, which is an affiliate of L'Oréal USA.
Hi, my name is Jodi. I'm the Vice President of ecommerce for SalonCentric, which is the B2B distribution arm of L'Oréal. We began on this journey of marketplace, and the project took us about 15 months. We had over 50 stakeholders that helped to bring this project to life. So it was quite a complex project. It was the first of its kind for L'Oréal. So I can definitely say that both myself, the team, and the organization is incredibly proud of what we were able to achieve in partnership with JP Morgan.
For my team, the Treasury team, Treasury is the way I see it is often not a department that we talk about often unless there's a problem. And it was nice this time around to be part of a solution and to be at the forefront of the solution as well, to be able to allow SalonCentric to go into that direction and to expand our footprint with our partners, vendors, and to grow the business. For us, the biggest challenge was to be out of the flow of funds, since we are inviting third-party vendors on our websites to sell to our clients. We didn't want to be involved in collecting and remitting the funds to third-party vendors. It is a highly regulated industry in the United States, and regulations vary from state to state as well. So we didn't have the bandwidth or expertise to manage that, and we didn't want to develop it either. So we had to find a solution, and with the help of JP Morgan, so we were able to implement a mechanism where we are not in the flow of funds. So all the funds are our funds, SalonCentric's, and the third-party vendors' funds are deposited into a sponsored account that belongs to JP Morgan. And we have a solution that manages the payouts to the third-party vendors and to SalonCentric, obviously, from out of that sponsored account.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Marc said, I'll say from the business perspective, we certainly had to quickly upskill ourselves and really rely on our treasury experts like Marc and his team to help guide us through this funds flow process and really helping to understand what these limitations and regulations were. From the business perspective, we had a strong view on what that customer experience should look like. And so it was really about helping us to really understand what these limitations were, partnering very closely with our treasury team to really help guide to make sure that we were making good decisions in this process. And then, of course, the partnership with JP Morgan coming in to help land the plane, so to speak, for us. That was probably our biggest challenge, certainly from the business perspective.
I think the project was different for us, for my team in general, because, in Treasury, when you have, you implement new products, new solutions, the way you prepare and the way you implement and the way you close a project is pretty much always the same, right? We follow a recipe, if I can say. Here, it was something that is completely out of our comfort zone, very different than what we have ever done. And I think the biggest learning is that you're never too prepared for it. Throughout the process, it was a relatively long process where, we were actively involved in implementing the solution. It was a good 6-7 months, I would say, just for the implementation. So the technical aspect of it, the documentation aspect of it was something that we had never seen before. And I think we estimated that it would take less time. But as you drill down into the details, you come across so many new issues that you have never had to deal with, that, the coming up with the final solution was challenging at time. So I think it's really, for me, is when you're going into something that is really, really, really new, it's really to dig in and drill down and ask all the questions that you can think of, because there are good chances that something is going to come up eventually down the road. So I think that's the biggest learning item out of there for me, is that when you're out of your comfort zone, you need to be even more on the ball, if I can say, to try to anticipate what can go wrong.
I think Marc, really hit the nail on the head. I think certainly this was what I would say, in my experience at SalonCentric, probably one of the most complex projects I've ever had the privilege to work on. I mentioned earlier, digital transformation and innovation. I think the complexities, I would have loved to have been able to anticipate some of the curveballs a little bit better. But in addition to some of the technical complexities, right, we were also working with a large stakeholder group. It was roughly 50 individuals across multiple countries. So really helping to mobilize the teams and provide clear direction as things were constantly moving in different directions, and being able to really land the project at the end. So I agree with what Marc is saying. It was incredibly complex. And I think I would have loved to have estimated that a little bit better if I, in hindsight, could go back.
And now it's time for a word from their partner.
Hi, I'm Manish, Jain, Global Head of Consumer Retail Industries for JPMorgan Chase's payments business. L'Oreal is the world's largest cosmetics company. To help purchasing professional beauty supplies easier and to provide advice and insights that help licensed beauty professionals build successful businesses, L'Oreal created SalonCentric, the premier distributor of salon professional products in the US. SalonCentric operates more than 580 physical stores in the 48 US states, has more than 400 salon business partners, and serves as one of the largest online business-to-business e-commerce platforms in the professional beauty industry. However, L'Oreal saw the opportunity for a broader marketplace with a wider range of products that salon owners and stylists need to run and grow their businesses. This led to the development of SalonCentric Marketplace. The SalonCentric Marketplace looked to achieve two objectives. One, to build on the long-term partnership established between salon professionals and SalonCentric, providing convenient access to wider selection of products and services such as salon equipments, shears, salon supplies, appliances like coffee makers, business software, and more. And two, to support L'Oreal to expand its business growth opportunities. While launching SalonCentric, L'Oreal had a few key requirements in mind. They wanted to keep SalonCentric out of funds flow for third-party seller settlements, since money transmission is a highly regulated activity both by individual states and the US federal government. Additionally, they didn't want to store the bank information of third-party sellers where the funds were to be remitted, and they wanted a service provider who could integrate with their marketplace technology provider. JPMorgan took the full end-to-end solution approach in meeting these needs. We worked very closely with their Treasury, legal, and accounting team to put together the right accounting structure and to ensure that at every step of the solution, L'Oreal was never in the funds flow. We also used our merchant acquiring capabilities to collect funds and our Concourse platform to remit funds to the third-party sellers. SalonCentric has a complex structure that includes Salesforce Commerce for order capture, SAP for inventory management and invoice management, and Miracle for third-party catalog, pricing, and order management. JPMorgan worked very closely with all these teams to deliver a very robust third-party seller experience. The key elements of this solution are a very innovative account structure that kept L'Oreal out of the funds flow, Chase Merchant Services to collect funds from salons, Concourse platform that provides a customizable experience to third-party sellers to capture their account information, remit the funds to these accounts, and provide historical information of all remittances to the third-party sellers. Account validation service to validate that accounts provided by third-party sellers are valid, and a robust set of APIs to integrate with Miracle. The innovative initiative put in place is a full end-to-end solution for the new SalonCentric Marketplace. The e-commerce site uses JPMorgan's Merchant Services platform to receive funds from customers who have registered with this closed access marketplace. Following purchase, funds are settled into a sponsored account that keeps SalonCentric out of the fund flow. Miracle keeps track of all the sales of third-party products and the seller settlement amount less the commission. Third-party sellers are onboarded on JPMorgan's Concourse platform to validate and store bank account information and enroll them in autopay for settlement. Third-party fund settlement information is sent to JPMorgan via state-of-the-art APIs. Once settlement instructions are received, the bank settles the amount from sponsored account to third party's bank account. SalonCentric Marketplace credit card purchases are processed through Chase Merchant Services. The seller is then paid by ACH using Concourse. SalonCentric expects to have 100 sellers onboarded to the new marketplace by the year end, and the expectation is that it will grow to 700 at the end of 5 years.
A huge congratulations to all our Adam Smith Awards winners. Thank you for listening to this episode of our dedicated Adam Smith Awards podcast series, brought to you by the Treasury Today Group. More episodes will be coming soon featuring other award-winning solutions So please subscribe to our channel so you can stay updated wherever you get your podcasts.